It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Express right here on SABC3. So good to be hanging out with you on your Wednesday morning. Now, I recently had the most incredible trip to Switzerland to find out all about the Echinacea plant and how this works to treat and prevent colds and flu in the form of A.Vogel's Echinacea. Now, we had it on the show as well. I'm sure you are familiar with it by now, but I've gained a wealth of knowledge while I was over there on how to look after our immune systems and be ahead of the colds and flus this winter. Now, this morning we are taking over the show and highlighting the rich properties of the Echinacea plant. We have homeopath Dr. David Nadir with us this morning to tell us everything we need to know. Dr. David, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be here.
So for the viewers out there, we were in Switzerland together. You were there as well, and what an incredible experience, man. I mean, obviously you being a homeopath, you kind of knew what we were getting into. Me as somebody as a newbie, I mean, it was incredible. I was absolutely blown away by what we've learned, and this is what we are here talking about this morning. But firstly, as a homeopath, David, what exactly is homeopathy? Because I don't think maybe people understand it correctly.
Well, homeopathy, there are a lot of misconceptions, but essentially homeopathy stems right back to 1796. Samuel Hahnemann was a German physician at the time, and he discovered and formulated homeopathy. And since then, it's grown exponentially. The World Health Organization even says that homeopathy is the second largest system of medicine in the world. Over 200 million people use it on a regular basis. And in South Africa, we have a strong profession of homeopathy. It's small, about 600 practitioners, but the profession of homeopathy is legally endorsed and recognized by the Department of Health. And a homeopath essentially prescribes homeopathic remedies instead of orthodox drugs. But interestingly, our scope of practice is as wide as a general practitioner. So we treat all the conditions that your general practitioner would usually address, except using homeopathic remedies.
And I love that. I mean, there's a lot of studies as well that's been done on natural medicine. We're going to get into that as well. But there's been a lot of talk nowadays surrounding natural remedies, your echinacea, your natural kind of medicines, as opposed to your allopathic or your pharma products as well. Why do you think there is such a drive towards that now specifically? And also, if you take a look at these type of products, I mean, how does it act in your body differently to what your conventional medicines would?
Well, most natural products work or are aimed at addressing the root cause of the illness. They work with the body in establishing a balance and getting the body back into a state of homeostasis, using the immune system and other mechanisms. So they don't actually force the body into doing anything, and they don't suppress any symptoms. So that's generally the thinking behind most natural products.
And I think that is also what people tend to lean towards, is kind of suppressing the symptoms, because you don't want to feel sick, but you're not necessarily addressing the cause, like you are saying.
Absolutely.
Now today we are talking quite a bit about Echinacea that we've introduced to our viewers over the past while as well. But the key ingredient, the Echinacea plant, it is a magnificent plant. We had the opportunity to see it there in Switzerland as well. But what makes it so special?
Well, there is so much evidence that we have now that proves that the Echinacea plant has antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. And what a lot of people don't realize is, for example, when you have a respiratory tract infection, almost all the symptoms you get are actually because of the inflammation and not because of the actual virus.
Oh, really?
So Echinacea is actually uniquely placed in that it not only kills viruses, but it also inhibits or prevents the inflammation that they cause. So it's quite well placed as a product for respiratory tract infections. What's also quite interesting, and research has proven this, is that viruses find it very difficult to become resistant to Echinacea, whereas they easily become resistant to other existing antivirals. So it's quite unique in that way as well.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely something that we can focus on, is because the body getting used to medicines, and this is the one thing that sets, I think, Echinacea specifically apart from other natural remedies as well out there. Dr. David, thank you very much for joining us. You are not done yet, my friend. You're not done yet. We're just getting started. After the break, we will be busting some myths as well around colds and flus, and then a little later on today, we'll discuss that big breakthrough study that we've been telling you about.
A.Vogel's Echinacea is the world's strongest herbal product that's clinically proven to prevent and treat colds, flu, and their complications.